Hi, it's David here again with the 5th video in this little series of what I am calling examples of God's supernatural interventions in my life. Now, this one is interesting because it's an example of when God used me to save somebody out of a really difficult crisis. It was early on in my faith, so I wasn't really particularly aware of how these things can work. I'd driven to Exeter for a concert. I had to do some shopping in the city, unusually. I don't think I've ever done that again, but this time for some reason I had to. And so I went up and parked in the city centre car park, which was beside a bus station. As I got out, lots of people milling around, particularly the area where you get the bus. There was lots of people walking along. And I just happened to see, I thought absolutely nothing about it. In amongst all the people I saw, I noticed a large woman dragging a suitcase with a daughter behind her dragging a suitcase. Both of them just walking along dragging a suitcase. I mean, honestly, it was just like I was getting out of the car ready to go shopping. You notice people. I didn't even particularly notice them, but I did see them. That was that. I went and do my shopping, rehearsal, concert. I'm driving home. It's late. It was about 11 o'clock. It was late in the year as well, so it was dark. And I'm actually leaving the city limits. So the road lighting is just about coming to an end, and on a dual carriageway, and it's dark, obviously no footpaths, and who do I see but this woman and her child walking along by the edge of the road. And I remember seeing them from earlier, and I was driving along at 70 miles an hour, and I thought, that's really odd. You know, and I thought, what could they be doing? Where could they be going at this time? And this is long before the time of mobile phones or anything like that. And all of a sudden I got this really strong impression. I had to stop, I had to turn around, and I had to go back to them. I mean, I think, many of us would do that anyway in that sort of instance, but this was like a really strong impression. And so I stopped, turned around, went back and pulled up beside them. Of course, they were shocked, slightly afraid. And I just said I'd noticed them earlier, and I was just wondering where they're going, if I could give them a lift or something. And they were going to they had had a problem in that pre-mobile phone. They had been going on a holiday. Not everybody fit in the car. So a carload was coming down. They come down by coach, and they were going to meet up. The people that were going to meet up hadn't turned up. And so they had no money, no way of contacting anybody, and so they were completely stuck. And this woman was doing her best and trying to walk to Exmouth, but it was like 20 miles with a little girl dragging suitcases along a dangerous road. When I realized what was going on, I was absolutely appalled. And so, of course, they got into the car, and I gave them the lift to their holiday destination. And but I always remember this little sweetheart sitting in the back. I don't think there's any seatbelt rules either. She was seeming in the middle of the thing, absolutely thrilled to be going on, thinking everything was right in the world, absolutely no problems, nothing to worry about. But I always remember that as that, definitely that was a case where, God wanted me to obviously get in and help that situation. I dropped her off. I've never seen or heard from her since, but I've never forgotten that moment. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for now, and in the next one, another unusual experience of what I call God's supernatural moving in my life. So thanks for listening. I hope you found it interesting.